in the third. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Looking to pass. Tua. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground? And
his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Eagles touchdown. Jalen Reagor, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They'll try and throw for it. Out to his left. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So the signal caller doing it himself there on the 2-point try.
You got to like that. We always talk about the ball staying in the hands of the best players. But most of the time you want to get it to a back, pitch it to a wide receiver. In this case, the quarterback did it himself. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tua. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there for the Dolphins.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down and then some. Tua now on 1st down. Going for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. A quick throw into the hands of Reagor. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are right back in this football game. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Going deep here for Parker. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Tua going to try and throw for it. And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So they got one of the two touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Past midfield. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Things just got interesting. They try for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Able to connect with Fuller, and he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Tua. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll go down at the 28. A big gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown.
And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off down at the 2.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do they do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They go play action with Hurts. That'll be caught. It's Rager. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. The Sanders has got it complete. And that's a touchdown as they broke their tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready in the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He's going to take another shot here. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. But, Charles, a one-score game.